Good morning, students. இங்க நம்ம சாயில் பார்க்குறோம். It is a mixture of organic matter, minerals, gases, liquid and organism that together support life. The soil zone is known as pedosphere. Important to mark note பண்ணிக்க. Soil is formed from rocks which are parent material of soil by weathering are called embryonic soil also. That is formation of the pedogenesis. Formation of soil known as pedogenesis. Important to mark. It has four major functions. Soil has four major functions. What are the four major functions? Medium for plant growth, means for water storage and purification, modifier of earth atmosphere, habitat for many organisms which in turn modify of the soil. Soil is found many horizontal layers called soil profile. The next one, property of soil. It's important 5 mark also. Texture of soil. The texture of soil is determined by the size of soil particle. The types of soil include sand, slit and clay on basis of the size differences. மண்ணோட தன்மை அளவுக்கு தக்கபடி அந்த சைஸை நம்ம மண்ணினுடைய அந்த தன்மையை நம்ம பிரிக்கலாம். நெக்ஸ்ட் பார்த்தோன்னா போரோசிட்டின்னு சொல்லுவோம். அதாவது இந்த புரைமைன்னு சொல்லுவோம். அதாவது ஊடுருவ நீர் ஊடுருவக்கூடிய அந்த இடைவெளி. Space between the soil particles in given volume of soil, that is called pore space அப்படின்னு சொல்லுவோம். மண்ணினுடைய அந்த இடைவெளி, மண் இடைவெளின்னு சொல்லுவோம். So the percentage of soil volume acquired by the pore space or by the interstitial spaces is called porosity of the soil சொல்லலாம். நெக்ஸ்ட் இப்போ permeability of soil, அது ஊடுருவக்கூடிய தன்மைன்னு சொல்கிறோம். The characters of the soil that determine the movement of water through the pore space is known as soil permeability. The soil permeability is directly dependent on the pore size, water holding capacity, and soil is inversely dependent on soil porosity. Next பார்த்தோம்னா soil temperature. Soil get heat energy from solar radiation, decomposing organic matter and heat from the interior of earth. Soil temperature effect on the germination of seed, growth of root, and the biological activity of soil inhabiting micro and macroorganisms also. Next, soil water. In soil, water is not only important as a solvent and transporting agent, but also maintain soil texture, arrangement, and competence of the soil particles, making soil habitable for plant and animals. Next, wind. Wind is the natural movement of air of any velocity from a particular direction. The two main causes are differential heating between the equator and poles, the rotation of the planet, coriolis effect. Note this point, important to mark also. The wind helps to transport of pollen grain, seed, and even flight of birds also. While the source of wind energy is also causes erosion, wind speed is measured with anemometer. Underline the word, the important 1 mark. The next one, humidity. Moisture in the form of invisible vapor in the atmosphere that is known as or called as humidity. It is generally expressed in terms of absolute humidity and relative humidity or specific humidity. So what is known as absolute humidity is the total mass of water vapor in a given volume of or mass of air. It does not take in temperature into consideration. So relative humidity is amount of water vapor present in air and expressed as a percentage of amount of needed for saturation. The same temperature relative humidity is expressed as a percentage. A high percentage means that air water mixture more humidity in given temperature, humidity measured with the hygrometer. Important 1 mark. The next one, altitude. This factor is mainly elevation of gradient of the effect of temperature and perception in ecosystem or biome. As altitude increases, the temperature and density of oxygen decreases. So higher altitude usually receives snow instead of rain because of low temperature. So animals are known to modify their response to environmental change stress in reasonably short time span. This is known as assimilation. Important to mark. This is observed when people who have moved from the plains to higher altitude so enhanced RBC count within a few days of settling the new habitat. This helps to cope with the lower atmospheric oxygen and higher oxygen demand. So next heading பார்த்தோம்னா population. Okay. So population is defined as any group of organisms of same species which can interbreed among themselves and occupy the particular space and function as a part of biotic community. A population have various properties like population density, natality, that means birth rate, and mortality, that means death rate, age distribution, and biotic potential, dispersion of R and K selected growth forms. A population possesses genetic characters that are directly related to their adaptiveness and reproductive success and persistence in their habitat over time. The life history of organism is an important part of that attribute. The population has a definite structure and function that can be described with reference to the time. Okay. ரிமைனிங் இன்னும் 2 ஹெட்டிங் இருக்குது. நெக்ஸ்ட் கிளாஸ் பார்க்கலாம். இதை மட்டும் நீங்கள் நல்லா கிளியராக படிச்சுட்டு ஒர்க்கை சென்ட் பண்ணுங்கள். தேங்க்யூ ஸ்டூடெண்ட்ஸ்.